Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. Scary Shorties wouldn't exist without you, the fans. Please like and follow us on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen, and share the show with your friends to help us grow. Thanks, guys. Echo, written by C.H. Woolrich, read by Drew Grimm. We had been hiking for hours, and the trail had mostly disappeared beneath moss and roots. The sun filtered through the thick canopy above, flecking the ground in shifting patches of light. Everything smelled like damp leaves and tree bark. Bugs skimmed the surface of the creek that ran alongside us, catching in the light like flecks of glass. When we found the clearing, it felt like a reward. A patch of soft ground nestled between tall trees in a slow bend in the creek. It was peaceful. We dropped our backpacks and collapsed in a lazy circle, passing around trail mix and swapping stories, just like when we were kids. There were 6 of us, me, Rachel, Marcus, Jen, Emily, and Kyle, old friends who hadn't managed to be in the same place at the same time in years. The kind of trip you planned half-jokingly in a group chat, then somehow actually followed through on. Kyle was in the middle of a story about his cousin's car getting raided by a possum when it happened. The scream. It tore through the trees like a blade, sharp, short, and loud enough to stop every conversation cold. It echoed off the woods, stretching and bouncing between the trunks, and disappearing as quickly as it came. We all stared at the trees in the direction it had come from. Nothing moved, just the breeze and the leaves and the quiet trickle of the creek. Then the scream came again. Same direction, same length, same pitch, identical. We looked at each other this time.
"That's not normal, right?" Jen said. "Animals don't scream like that, do they?"
Maybe it's a bird, Kyle said, not sounding convinced. Or a fox. They sound creepy. No one moved. We waited, listening. I could feel my pulse in my ears. Then the scream came again. Same direction, same pitch, same length. Too exact. Then another. Same sound over and over, like a recording stuck on a loop. The intervals between them started to shorten. Marcus stood up and wiped his hands on his jeans. Okay, I don't like this. Let's head back. We all got up quiet now. There was no more joking, no more snacking. Just fast packing and uneasy glances into the trees. Then the scream came again, but this time from our left. Everyone froze again. Another scream. This time behind us. Closer. Jen's water bottle slipped from her backpack and hit the ground with a soft thud, breaking everyone from their stupor. We need to go now. No one argued. We started moving, not running, not yet, but fast enough to stumble over roots and curse under our breath. Then the scream erupted right next to me, in my ear. I stumbled, clapping a hand to the side of my head. I tried looking for the culprit, but there was no one. Go! I shouted, and that was all it took. We ran for our lives. Branches whipped my face as we broke through the woods. I could hear everyone's footsteps behind me now, fast, frantic. The screaming kept coming, now from every direction and no longer spaced out. It was a chorus of the same scream, louder, faster, overlapping. And someone screamed. Not the echoing scream we'd been hearing, but Jen. It was Jen. I turned in time to see her stumble and get swallowed. There was no other word that fit. She was swallowed by something black and rolling, like smoke moving with purpose. It slid over her body like a wave, and she was gone. "Jen!" Kyle called out, already turning back. "Jen!" Her scream joined the others. Same tone, same sound. Over and over. Only now it was her voice. "Move!" Rachel screamed, grabbing Kyle by the arm and pulling him away. We ran again. All of us. Kyle was next. He looked over his shoulder and tripped. The black cloud came for him then, rolling over him like it had been waiting. His voice joined Jen's on repeat. I ran harder. Marcus tripped, the ground giving out beneath him on a slope, and he crashed into a fallen tree with a sickening crush. Rachel tried to go back, but I yanked her away. We didn't see the cloud take him. We just heard his scream a few seconds later, added to the loop. We broke into a clearing smaller than the last one. It was ringed with old trees that arched overhead like ribs. For a moment, we felt maybe we were safe. Emily stopped short and clutched her ribs, panting and trying to catch her breath. But it was too late. Before she could open her mouth to speak, the scream forced its way up and out of her. She looked terrified, like something was forcibly pushing the sound out of her. And then the cloud dropped from the trees behind her and swallowed her whole. Her voice joined the others. Rachel sobbed and ran. I followed. We tore through the trees, dodging branches and stumbling over rocks until she stumbled and hit the ground hard. I reached for her, but the blackness was already circling around her ankles. She looked up at me and mouthed, "Help!" I didn't know. I ran, and all I could hear were the screams behind me. I don't know how long I ran for. The trail was gone, and my lungs burned. My legs shook until they gave out, and I hit the ground hard, my ankle twisting beneath me. Pain shot up my leg, sharp and hot. And that's when everything stopped, like someone hit mute on the world. Even the forest was quiet. It seemed like it was holding its breath. And then closer than anything has ever been, a whisper, right in my ear, so soft it made my skin crawl. It whispered, "Yours will echo next." The cloud was over me before I could scream, but it didn't take me. It passed through me. All the sound rushed back in at once, but not from the trees. It came from inside me, and suddenly I understood why it screamed, why it took them, why it spared me. It needed someone to carry it, someone to pass it on. My mouth opened, and the scream came out. Not mine, not theirs, ours. Now I walk the woods alone, trapped and waiting because it needs another. Someone unfortunate enough to make their way into my woods to hear the scream. Just long enough for the echo to find them.